What's up, y'all? This Raj Smoove, and you watching Nolazine TV.
Okay. So, for everybody who don't know, I'm like, tell them where you from.
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Grew up in Gentilly Woods. You know, stayed in New Orleans East a little bit, Kenilworth, Georgetown Apartments. You know, born and raised, like this my city.
And we see that you're still here.
Yeah.
And you still love it.
I still love it. You know, New Orleans got a certain gravity about it that, you know, no matter where people go, they kind of always end up coming back. You know, ain't really no other city like this.
Yeah, I've been to like 20 states this year, and they don't have no food like us.
Man,
a lot
food,
of stuff.
Like, you know, New Orleans. You know, my dad used to tell me this because, like, my dad is a musician. And, you know, he traveled and, you know, been all over and overseas and everything. And, you know, New Orleans is one of like the last original cities in the United States. Meaning, like, you know, like pretty much anywhere you go, everything's starting to look the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got like the little strip malls with your Targets or your Walmart or whatever, and, you know, Outback Steakhouse and
right.
Applebee's and all of that. Like, you know, everything like looks the same. Like, kind of like any suburb you go to. Like, it's all these new developments, and, you know, New Orleans has been able to hold on to its own identity culturally. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when people come down here, they see stuff that they don't see nowhere else.
Okay. So let's bring it back. So tell us, where year did it all start when you became DJ?
That was 1990, I think it was.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to say that one.
Yeah. Like 89, 90, like I was in the 8th grade at Livingston Middle School, and you know, me and my friends had a social studies project that we was doing, and I was like, yo, like we could do like a rap for our project, and I was trying to figure out a way to put the Super Mario Brothers music over like a beat, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, with my little stereo setup, I couldn't do it, so I was like, man, I need to get me a mixer. And like I already was like a fan of DJing from, like, you know, listening to Jazzy Jeff and listening to DJ Cash Money. So I was already kind of predisposed to getting into to DJing and playing records. And then you know, some cash broke in my house and stole my Nintendo and all my Nintendo tapes. And we got the insurance check, and I got me a mixer, I got me another little turntable, and you know, it was off to the races from there.
Okay. So how did you come up with your name?
So my real name is Roger, and I'm named after my father. So like everybody in my family would always call me like Lil Raj. Okay. So that's where the Raj came from. And then the Smoove came from this Digital Underground record, rest in peace, Shock G. It was like a B-side song, I think, on the Do What You Like single. And it was like some line. He said, you know, I looked at my homie, and my homie said, Smoove. And I was like, yo, that's kind of cool. I could put the Raj with the Smoove, and then that kind of became my name. Because like everybody at the time had like a first and a last name. So you had like Jazzy Jeff, you had Cash Money, you had Money Fresh, Rob Fresh, Manny Fresh. You had a lot of freshes going on around that time. But you know, all the DJs had like two names. So I was like, Raj Smoove, and you know, it just kind of stuck, and that was it.
So where did it come from with where you added, I'm like the greatest DJ in the world?
So I didn't add that. Wayne added that. Like when we was doing the Sqad mixtapes, you know, and I was DJing for Wayne and everything, and you know, they would come through my studio and record. So, you know, they would do like the little interlude sections where they'd be like talking in between the songs, and Wayne just, you know, I think what was that one? Sqad, I want to say it was like Sqad 3 or Sqad 4, and he said it like several times on the CD. Like first I was like, yeah, you know, we got Raj behind the board, you know, he like the greatest DJ in the world, and you know, he was like, Roger Smoove, like run it, you know what I'm saying, go to the next song. And then I think maybe like the second or third time he said, he was like, you know, we got Raj Smoove, the greatest DJ in the world. And at the time I didn't think nothing of it, you know, but a little while after that, cats would just run up on me in the street and be like, the greatest DJ in the world, just mimicking Wayne, and it just stuck, you know what I'm saying? So like, it wasn't nothing that like I came up with. You know what I'm saying? Like Wayne came up with it. Everybody else latched onto it, and you know, I definitely appreciated it, especially in the sense that like I would have other DJs saying it to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, like hip hop is super competitive. So like for another DJ to be like the greatest DJ in the world, like that always meant a lot to me. To you know, for other folks, my peers, to say that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like I never, you know what I'm saying? Because I never was out here with the billboard like, man, I'm the greatest DJ in the world. Like nobody can touch me. Like I never approached it like that. It was like everybody else was saying it, so it just kind of stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us, you know, let's bring it back. Yeah, but how did you actually, meet Lil Wayne?
So I met Lil Wayne from being on tour with Cash Money. My homie WAP, who was in my crew in Cycle War, which was like, you know, our little Wu-Tang Clan thing that we had going on in the 90s. WAP grew up with Manny, and they were best friends. So in like the late 90s, we were doing a lot of stuff with Mac, who was on No Limit at the time. And, you know, after that situation, you know, unfortunately Mac went to jail. Actually, it was a little before that, like the No Limit stuff just kind of like just started getting shaky for everybody. So WAP ended up going on tour and being a tour DJ for Cash Money. So anytime they were in town, like, you know, I would go and hang around because, you know, while my partner, you know, Cash Money's popping, I'm trying to be on the scene. So they had a New Year's Eve party that they was supposed to be airing on BET, which was like the jump off for the Cash Money Rough Rider tour, that they were playing on BET, and like they shot it like maybe like a week before, but they were gonna play it like it was live to bring in the new year. And I was there hanging on stage, you know, just chilling with WAP, and at the end of the night, you know, Fresh was up in the balcony, getting ready to leave. He was like, "Raj, what's up, man? You coming on tour with us?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm coming on tour with y'all." So he was like, "All right, then we gonna make it happen," and he made it happen. So that's how I ended up on the road with Cash Money, and you know, was around, you know, all the hot boys and everything, and you know, I would come out on the set and do my little thing, you know, my little DJ tricks and all of that. And you know, when WAP, you know, wasn't necessarily there because if he had to go handle up something else for Fresh, I was like WAP's, you know, stand-in. You know what I'm saying? Like if WAP wasn't there, I was holding it down. So after the tour was over, Wayne was interested in doing like his mixtape stuff and was trying to find a studio that he could record into, you know, do his thing. And he approached WAP, but WAP didn't have a studio. He was like, "Man, holla at Raj. Raj got a spot." So, you know, that's when Wayne hit me up, started coming through. We dropped a little 10,000 bars. And then, you know, after that, it was like a consistent thing.
Special question. So that time that at the time that actually like Lil Wayne actually like threw the papers away, was he actually like in the studio?
Yeah, we was upstairs because like this, you know, after Katrina we renovated, but like yeah, we was in this.
Yeah, but I remember he was rapping and just
like he had all like his little papers and he was just going through them because like, you know, when he hit me up, he was like, "Man, you know, just take some instrumentals or whatever and put them together, and I'm gonna just come spaz on them." So, you know, I was working at the radio station at the time and doing a lot of clubs. So, like, they would always send me, you know, the singles for whatever the hot songs was with the instrumental and everything. So, you know, I went through, just got all the instrumentals, you know, recorded, mixing them up, putting them back to back. And then he came in and just ran it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the last time I ever saw him with notebook papers in his hand. You know what I'm saying? Like after that, he was just all off the dome.
Okay. Also, you know, but like just at that time, did you realize how just like, you know, did you think like, you know, Lil Wayne was just about to be this big like monster that he was about to become?
I don't know. Like I feel like I definitely saw the development. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we always thought Wayne was dope. Like he was always like, you know, one of people's favorite hot boys. You know what I'm saying? Just with his flow, you know, like the little quirky things he used to put in his raps and all of that. But as he started coming through and do the mixtape stuff, you know, it's kind of like you just watching it evolve in real time. Him evolving into, you know, best rapper alive. And, you know, it was interesting that him having the freedom to just kind of do what he wanted to do really gave him a chance to really like kind of like spread his wings and you know, become the beast that he is. You know, a lot of fun times, you know what I'm saying? It was cool to be there in the room and, you know, be a part of that whole situation.
Right, you was a part of the whole Sqad movement and everything. Yeah. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Hey, but I want to give you your flowers while you can still smell them.
Thank you.
So, you know, we're going to fast forward it past Wayne. We're going to bring it to Raw D.I.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, I heard stories that, you know, it, like, you know, it was probably during the Sqad or like after the Sqad.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, like Raw D.I. it like moved in with you and just like went hard.
Well, it wasn't. That's a very cut and dry.
Yeah, cut and dry. So I want to hear exactly what happened. You know,
it ain't that much of a fast forward. Like, you know, when the Sqad broke up or when they left Wayne, you know, it was a very tenuous situation to say the least, and you know, it was a bad breakup, and I was at a position where like I wasn't really trying to get involved in all of the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, for all intents and purposes, you know, I was a little bit of an outsider to all of the stuff that was going on. Because like the Sqad, for the most part, was like, you know, this was the cast that Wayne came up with. Like he grew up, like they've been friends for years and years. So I couldn't really get in between the beef that was going on between them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of like stepped back from the situation, like, yo, you know, y'all go ahead. I ain't getting involved in all of this. So, you know, that caused a little tension between them and me because, you know, they wanted some of the, you know, like the songs and stuff that we had been recording. But it's like, yo, like I can give y'all acapellas, but like I can't give y'all my beats because, you know, that's going to implicate me and everything else that's going on. Like I ain't trying to get involved in all of that. So Dizzy was kind of in the same mind. Like he had already started coming through the studio by himself. Like before, like, you know, nobody came unless Wayne came to the studio. Like Wayne was like, we got studio tonight, everybody show up. But Dizzy hit me up on his own and be like, yo, can I come record something? I'm like, for sure. So we had started developing a relationship and he wasn't trying to get caught up in all of the mess either. So I was like, well, yo, like, you know, we can try to make something happen on our own, you know. So, you know, he came through, you know, we started working on his first mixtape, The Raw. You know, we dropped that, had the song Keep the Party Going that we had playing on like Hot 104.5 and a couple other stations, just really trying to like, you know, break him as an artist and, you know, really break some songs on him. So after that, we started working on the 1,000 Miles to Downtown mixtape. And he called me up one day and was like, yo, like he wanted to do a song called 1,000,000 Miles. Because he was like, you know, like that's a really far distance of trying to, you know, like from where you at to where it is you trying to get to. So he kind of like planted that little seed of him wanting to do 1,000,000 Miles song. And I happened to be
1,000 miles.
Well, it ended up being 1,000 miles
okay.
because, you know, the chick Vanessa Carlton, she had like the song out at the time or whatever. And like, you know, in my off time where I'm not, you know, hip hop DJ, Raj Smoove, you know, I'm normally listening to like some alternative music or something like that. So I was on the Vanessa Carlton kind of hard at the time. And, you know, I had heard the song like 1,000 times, but one time I happened to be running it back and she was like, you know, saying, you know, making my way downtown. I was like, oh, downtown. I can snatch that. And I just kept running the song back, just piecing it together in my mind, like how I was gonna chop it up and sample it and make a beat out of it. And I called Dizzy up. I was like, yo, what if we switch it to 1,000 miles instead of 1,000,000 miles? Cause like I got a dope idea for a sample. So put the beat together, chopped it up. He came through, I think he did like the first verse and we just kind of like left it. Cause we had like some other songs that we were working on that, you know, we were kind of leaning towards putting out. So we had put together like a little sample CD of it was like 5 songs. And I think like the main song on there was the song called Night Ward America. We was planning on dropping that first. But every time we get a CD to people, they was like, yo, that last song on it, that 1,000 Miles, like, yo, that's the one. So we was like, man, we need to go ahead and hurry up and finish this record. So so he came through, finished the record, and like I said, like I was at Hot 104.5, you know, on the radio at the time, and we had just got a new program director, Daryl, and I let him hear the record, and he was like, yo, like this fire, like I'm putting this in the system like right now. And you know, as soon as it hit the airwaves, like everybody was like on it, and it just kind of blew up. And we were in the process of trying to get the sample cleared and get somebody to work the record at radio to like really like blow it up and, you know, try to get a situation out of it. And then Katrina hit. So this is where we get to the situation of we was kind of living together. So you know, me and my people, we had originally evacuated to Birmingham, but then we ended up in Chicago, and I think Dizzy he went to Atlanta. He had already went out to Atlanta. So, you know, we was all kind of like, we was just hanging out there like, man, what we gonna do? Trying to figure out where we gonna go. So we decided to set up shop in Atlanta, because Houston, we kind of felt like it was oversaturated and everything was kind of like spread far out, and more music stuff from the industry standpoint was happening in Atlanta. So we was like, all right, let's go set up shop in Atlanta. So as soon as the city opened, like I think it was like late September, whenever they drained all the water out, and it was like, yo, y'all can come back and, you know, go through y'all houses or whatever. As soon as we was at the border line at like 6 a.m. whenever they was opening it up, and we came in and like came here and got like all the studio equipment, put it in the van, and drove straight to Atlanta and got an apartment out there. And you know, we was pretty much, you know, all living together, you know what I'm saying. You know, it was like a compound, you know, and we was, you know, we'd be recording like half of the week, and then we would be on the road like the other half of the week, you know, going to Houston and, you know, all them small little college towns through like Alabama and Mississippi, Jackson, you know, here, Baton Rouge, you know, back up to Chicago, like really trying to get in where we fit in, you know what I'm saying? So like we were just rolling, trying to make it happen, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah.
So speaking on that song 1,000 Miles.
Yeah.
So recently, I don't know if you watched the blogs or nothing, but this rapper, Young Nation, his friends made it out of this record, and I was like, damn, I remember Raw D.I. doing it 15 years ago, but like I want to know, I'm like, when the first time you heard it, I'm like, what did you think?
I mean,
this record, it was funny.
It's, you know, I'm gonna say it like this, like, you know, a lot of the new music ain't for me, but like I get it, and you know, samples ain't, you know, like they for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So just because, you know, we did it, you know, 15 years ago, don't mean that somebody else can't do it now. Like, you know, like it still blows my mind. Like when what was the Khaled record that came? Oh, the Khaled record where he like sampled Lovers and Friends, and it's like, yo, like, did that record come out that long ago? Where they, you know, like somebody like has already like taken it and remixing it and make a new song out of it, and sure enough, like the record was like 10 plus years old. So, you know, I don't own that record. Like we didn't even get the sample cleared on it, which had me upset because we almost, like, they called me to put the record in the ATL sound, in the T.I. movie, the ATL. They was gonna put it on the soundtrack.
Hey, but that was a dope song.
Yeah, but I was like, we don't have the sample cleared, so it's like, oh, all right, well, you know, we'll holler. That's all she wrote. So, but now, like, it still go hard to this day, and like we actually finally shot a video for it, like 3 or 4 years ago.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to, you know, just to do something for it. You know, we had a lot of dope records. You know, a lot of, I felt like we had a lot of dope records. Like 1,000 Miles was like indicative of what we was doing, but you know, we really had some joints. You know, like Dizzy was putting out a project like at least like every 2 years, and like Dizzy's still dropping.
Yeah,
you know
was working hard for Dizzy. I remember, far as my age, I was younger. I was like the 21-year-old when you was DJing at the Dreams in the Hush, and like you would have at least every few months you would have, if like Raw Di actually come perform, he'll perform like Work Your Elbows and 1,000 Miles, and like I had a partner, he loved it. Like he'll be singing, to like his whole heart out.
No, we was riding, dude. Like cause like actually. Like Dizzy would be coming with me to Dreams, like when I was DJing, when we'd be coming back from Atlanta all the time, and he'd be like hosting and MCing for me while I was DJing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we were gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get this money however we can get it.
Yeah, that's dope. You know. And so basically, like y'all believed in, like y'all believed in like each other.
It's like you build relationships with people and you get close. Like like it's going on almost 20 years now that I've known Dizzy. You know what I'm saying?
And so how did you actually meet Raw Di? Did you meet him on the Sqad situation?
Yeah, like through the Sqad situation, because Few, who run with Wayne, is off Mazant with Dizzy and Nut. So when Wayne was putting the Sqad together, Few was talking, was like, yo, like I got two cats, out the hood that can go. So, cause I remember, cause it used to be just like Wayne and Gutter and Yo, like coming through, but him telling everybody like, yo, like Few got like some cats off of Mazant, like they about to come through, like they dope. You know what I'm saying? He was like talking about Nut, and he was like, yeah, Nut got a partner, Dizzy, who like, like go hard too. So, that's how we originally met, and, you just gravitate towards certain people, you know what I'm saying? We had a kindred spirit, and, we've become like, brothers over the years, you know what I'm saying? Of going through all of that, and, going through the struggle, trying to make it, and going through Katrina, and,
Yeah, but y'all went through a lot together.
That's my dog, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So,
tell us, what do you enjoy most about the music industry, and tell us what do you actually hate about the music industry.
I think what I enjoy most about the music industry is the fact that I get to play and do music for a living. You know what I'm saying? I've come up around music my whole life, and to be able to have a career and make a living off of it, I don't know if it get much better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never had no regular job. I ain't never have to punch no clock. I DJ through high school. I DJ through college. So by the time, I got out here, I was already gigging like 3-4 times a week on top of doing, like my own rap group stuff. Like the first time we performed at Jazz Fest and got a check was 92. Like we were sophomores in high school. So, I've had a great run, and I'm still running. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still in the mix, doing a lot of stuff. So that's what I love the most. What I hate, probably, like when you do stuff and when you're a creative and you're making something that you really putting your whole heart into, like this is dope, and like you really feel what it is you're doing, and you putting your heart and soul into it, and then you play it for somebody and let somebody hear it, and then it's like, it's cool. It's like, yo, like I put my heart and soul into this, and everybody just doesn't get everything, So I think that's probably what I dislike the most, but that's something that I think all creatives have to come to terms with, that everybody's not gonna like what you do. They're not gonna feel about your material how you feel about your material, but you can't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta keep creating.
Okay. So I have a good question for you. Let's talk about your experience from starting since 1989 to now. Like, tell us about your transition from real life, like big records, to CDs, to now just like everything streaming.
It's been cool. Like, I definitely don't miss having to carry like crates of records around all the time. Like that. Oh my God, that used to suck. 'Cause we used to have the recycling bins, And for anybody that has never carried a crate of records before, vinyl is heavy. So, you know, having a big recycling crate or a milk crate full of records, trying to carry them up the back stairs at House of Blues or up the stairs at Dreams, which was like a very steep curb going up to the club. Man, I remember one time we had a show with Wayne. We were in one of the forts in Florida, and the DJ booth was like on top of the bar. So I had to climb up a ladder with my backpack of records for the set on my back to get up to the DJ booth. Like, that sucked. So the fact that now, you know, we can have everything on a laptop it's amazing to me. CDs, I never really got onto the CDs that much just because I came up on vinyl, and like the feel of the CDJs wasn't it just wasn't the same for me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I always preferred the vinyl, which is why when Serato came out and you could still get down, you know, on the records, but all of the music is stored on the computer, like that was it for me. Yeah.
Hey, but I just realized, I mean, how hard you had to work. Just carrying all that stuff.
Yo, like it's, you know what I'm saying? Like having, I will say this, it was a lot, I don't even know if it was a lot more fun, but like there were other things that we had to do, like go and dig for records. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you would have to like go into the record store and like thumbing through to see what they have to try to find some gems and some records that nobody else had. So, you know, your record collection was really kind of helped to define who you were as a DJ. Because if you didn't have a record, you couldn't play it. It's not like I could just go and download a song off of YouTube or play it from a streaming service like Tidal or something. You had to have the physical record in your hand. So especially like when it came to old school records that, you know, people possibly have forgot about or they didn't have access to, having all them kind of joints, like, you know, was really able to set, you know, would be able to set you apart. So like, you know, sometimes we would have like guest DJs at like House of Blues, and, you know, the guest DJs sometimes would come in and try to play like all the hot records in like 30 minutes, 45 minutes for their set, you know, just to like blow the party out of the water and make whoever else was DJing look bad because like they already played all the music. But I ain't never trip on that because I always felt like my crates was too deep. Like I got too many different types of songs I can play at different directions I can go to rock the party. Like I don't have to play the brand new Jay-Z record or whatever. Like I got a ton of music that I can go to rock the party. So, you know, that was always something that was fun about, you know, being on vinyl. And then just mechanically how you had to operate with the records, especially for like DJ battles, you know, having to like actually marking your records with the stickers and the cue points, because, you know, you just got all of these grooves on the record, and when you're in a DJ battle, you got to get to the part of the record that you want to get to quick. Like it ain't on a computer where you got cue points and you just press a button on a controller and you there. Like we had to actually put markers on our records to make the needle drop right where it is that we needed the needle to go, and that was like a skill set all in itself. And it really kind of kept the bar high for people being able to get into that and to, you know, get into DJing, because it wasn't as simple as just, you know, I got a computer and I got a controller and some music files. Like there was a whole lot more to it at the time. So yeah.
Okay. So tell us, out of all your years, like how did you actually, I mean, what is unique about Raj Smoove, the DJ?
I mean, I don't know. I think all the DJs would probably say that. I think my style that I've been able to develop is kind of independent of whatever the genre or the situation is. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter what type of crowd I'm in front of, what type of music I have to play, what type of equipment I'm on. It's more so about making a a connection with the audience and getting a emotional response from the crowd, as opposed, you got some people who, they just play old school, or they might just play hip hop, or they might just play bounce. I've kind of been able to figure out a framework where I could just drop in whatever music and, it'll rock for whatever the crowd is. You know what I'm saying? I didn't open up for some of like the white bands, the rock bands that'll come to House of Blues, and, I'll be in there playing like 70s rock music or 80s rock, whatever, but, I can fit it within my style and people will still have a good time.
Okay. So, tell us, when did it transition from you being one, DJ, to one, music producer?
So, they run at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing that made me want to get a mixer was because I needed to produce a beat for us to rap on for our school project. And also in hip hop, being a DJ, you was usually the one with the equipment. So, everybody would be by my house, working on songs. You know what I'm saying? I had like the little, back at the time, like they had like the little box that had like a little sampler on it that you could like loop stuff on and, get like breaks from records and stuff. So, we was always at my house, like making music. So I think I've always been a producer along with being a DJ.
Okay. So what's your advice to one, younger DJ / producer? What's your advice, to them, far as, jumping into this, music industry?
I think find a way to connect with the audience. Whatever it is that you're doing, you got to have a message that's going to resonate with your fan base. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you have a lot of people that do music that never really pop off because what they're making doesn't resonate with nobody. You ain't got to be the greatest rapper. You ain't got to be the coolest producer. You don't even necessarily need to know how to read music or any of that. You know what I'm saying? But you need to be able to do something that's going to make people say, I feel you. That's the first thing. After that, I would just say diversify. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to figure out a way to apply what it is that you do into different things so you don't get stuck just being a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was never just a DJ. A lot of people didn't know all the stuff that I was doing behind the scenes, but, there's always been like a ton of other stuff that's been going on. And, with the music business, things are always very finicky. So, even in a pandemic, all the clubs get shut down. If you just DJ, what you gonna do if you don't have nowhere to DJ at? You know what I'm saying? So, I always, even when I first started building my studio up, I'm renting out studio time. Like, if I hadn't had my studio, I wouldn't have never had my relationship with Wayne. I'm sure Wayne would have still, popped off. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, who knows how that situation would have went, And
it was just perfect timing.
Yeah, everything kind of like fit together, and it is what it is, and I think we did a lot of great music.
Okay, so tell us, what's next for Raj Smoove? Do you plan on, working with younger artists, or do you plan on, just tell us everything what's coming next for Raj?
So recently I've kind of started putting a brand on all the different things that I do. You know what I'm saying? So I already DJ, I got my studio, I was doing management, for different artists. So I started, the Gentilly agency, you know what I'm saying, to do management, artist development, booking and all that type of stuff. Me and my homie D-Lo Diamond Man, who's half of Monster Beats, I've been working with him on a lot of stuff with music, but also we got the Diamond Boat collection, the clothing line, and the shoes and all of that we've been working on. Like, D-Lo is a creative genius and has a ton. Every time I talk to him, he got a new idea about something that's super dope. So we partnered up. We got the clothing line thing happening. I partnered up with Moonrise Entertainment. We've been doing a lot of stuff with, you know, event production, management, consulting. I've been, you know, working with the city, producing events and stuff for them. I'm a member of the New Orleans Music Economy Initiative, which is trying to get like the music industry infrastructure in New Orleans better constructed, so we actually have ways for artists to make money down here other than just like performing in the French Quarter, where we really got like, you know, the intellectual property stuff popping with publishing and copyright and all of that. What else? I got a STEM program that I'm working on called Beat Scientists, which is like teaching kids about physics and stuff through music creation and as it applies to making music. What else I got popping off? I don't know, it's a lot of stuff.
Well, you just got to like stay tuned for all this, huh?
Yeah, you know, and you know, of course, you know, I'm still in the studio. You know, we got a couple artists that we're working with that we're trying to get like some major deal situations popping for. You know, we got folks that like, you know, we've been working with Hot Sizzle. You know, he got the record.
Hot Sizzle. He got the hottest record right now.
Like we just like I just finished like we got like the official like studio version of it that we just finished up.
I heard it on the radio today.
Mixing it last night, and
I think that was the song I heard on the radio today.
Well, they've been playing the live version, like the, you know, it took all like the get
they
your
didn't
song.
play the live version today.
Which one was they
play like a studio version.
Okay, well, that might be one because I sent it to Angela this morning. So
yeah, I just heard like an hour ago.
Okay, well yeah, that was probably it. Like we finished it last night. And you know, I've been on the phone all day with DJs, blasting it out and sending it to folks. You know what I'm saying? So like, man, we just
shout out Hot Sizzle and Jelly.
Yeah, they doing their thing. I'm still waiting. She's supposed to be sending me a record I'm supposed to scratch on, but we're gonna talk about that later. But nah, you know, just being in the mix of everything. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing I got a series called Live Mixtape that I just started off. I did one with Jamil Naeem X and another one with Pell, where, you know, we just taking like a couple songs and doing like a video mixtape of me like scratching and blending it back together, but it's actual like live performance of them performing their songs. So that's kind of cool. And we also got like a little podcast interview component with that we've been doing as well. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And also, but last but not least, tell everybody, I'm like, where can they find you at on social media and just everywhere else?
At Raj Smoove, pretty much everywhere. You know, just tune in on Twitter, Facebook, and IG. You can find out where I'm gonna be at now that the world's starting to open back up. You know, you're gonna see me in a few places. Also, go to diamondboatcollection.com. Y'all can order something. Be on the lookout for the new DBS ones. We gonna be dropping them this summer. Yeah, you know, we out here.
All right, we done.
Nolazine make them scream, you heard me.